Alright, so here's how we're going to get our health together and flatten our stomach. Celery juice. So I use celery juice to lose the majority of the weight. And now that my goal is acquiring a six pack, I'll be doubling down on the celery juice over the summer. Celery juice has a high water content, has vitamin C, A, and K, which is really good for the skin, helps to reduce inflammation and boost hydration. So all of that will be good for me tightening up the skin. Let's get into how I make the celery juice. Now, celery juice has been infamously linked with the Dirty Dozen list. As of last few years, it hasn't been on the top 12 fruits and vegetables riddled with pesticides and poor farming practices, but it is still pretty high up in the list. It's recommended to get organic when you can, but doing some research, I realized there isn't much of a difference with the health benefit or nutrient benefits with celery juice, whether you buy conventional or organic. But either way, wash it thoroughly. I usually wash my celery using some vinegar and or baking soda and soak it in there a little bit and just scrub off any additional dirt. I currently don't own a juicer, so I'm using a blender here. So the recipe for the celery juice just calls for plain celery in a juicer, drinking 16 ounces a day. For me, what I'll do is I'll put the celery into the blender. I'll put as many of those pieces of stock as possible, and I have about a cup and a half of water with my celery juice. So I will then put at least half of that water in when I put as much stocks as I can, and then I will blend it up, make more room, and continue to blend. So it is a watered down consistency, but I do drink the celery juice throughout the day. It typically lasts about 3 days for me. It's recommended that you have straight celery juice on 16 ounces of celery juice in the morning on an empty stomach. I do start my day like that, and throughout the day, whenever I do feel a bit peckish and I'm not sure if I really want anything to eat, I will drink some celery juice just to get bearings on whether I am hungry or not. Celery juice does help to reduce cravings, and that is why it was very helpful while I was losing weight. Celery juice is filled with fiber, magnesium, and potassium that will help to regulate your blood pressure. There are also signs of celery juice reducing chronic disease symptoms such as heart disease and diabetes. Celery juice is also linked with reducing arthritis symptoms, and there's very positive looking studies towards prostate health and reducing cancers around men's health. Celery juice is over 95% water, which helps to control the blood pressure, regulates your body temperature, and it helps with brain function. A lot of us are dehydrated throughout the day, so starting your day with celery juice is a step in the right direction. Celery juice is filled with phytonutrients, plant compounds that can help reduce inflammation. These compounds act as antioxidants that help to alleviate stress caused by free radicals in the body. Now, when using the blender to make your celery juice, there are a few extra steps. So what I'm doing right now is just scraping down the sides, just making sure everything is going to be incorporated. And at this point, I will go ahead and add the rest of the water to the mix. If you do have a juicer, you can skip adding the water, but with the blender, you're definitely going to need some liquid to make that mix possible. Bear in mind, celery juice is an acquired taste, especially if you don't like celery, but the results are well worth it. Now I'm going to use my cheesecloth here, another step that you wouldn't have to take if you have a juicer, but it really is necessary, and it's very simple to remove the juice from the pulp, as you see I'm doing. Placing the cloth over the bowl and pouring the juice into it, and then I pick up the cloth and squeeze with all my might, getting as much juice out of that as possible. If you are following the celery juice diet, you're going to go ahead and stop right here and just place your celery juice into an airtight container in order for you to drink that every day. I typically add a large lime or 3 key limes to add to the antioxidant properties, as well as cut some of that celery taste. I also started adding some honey to my celery juice. I just thought of it as being a natural preservative. I'm not sure how much I would need for it to really preserve it for much longer, but it did help with the taste. I used about half a teaspoon for this whole batch, and when using my continuous glucose meter, I didn't see any additional spikes when drinking the celery juice in the morning. So I go ahead and bottle my celery juice ready for the next 3 days, and it's just as easy to just get it out the fridge and go as it is to pick out any other drink. So if you are going to choose something, why not choose something so beneficial for your health? I hope this video makes it a little easier for you to make your own celery juice. If you already do make your own celery juice, let me know your recipes in the comment section down below. Why don't you stick around and watch some more videos on my channel and subscribe. Until next time, lovelies.